Well, I got some very good news. I finished the family. Yay! So on this one, I worked on the roses there and the little redbird. And so, yay. This is part 18. And let's see how I did the roses and the bird. The paints that we'll be using is black, white, grass green, cad red deep hull, permanent red, and yellow ochre. The brush we'll be using is a 2/0. Welcome back to part 18. I'm going to be adding some roses and a redbird today. So I'm going to show you how I'm doing my roses. They're just going to be little simple roses. I'm going to just draw some spirals and then just put some little ruffling around them. And that's basically how I'm going to make my roses today. I thought I'd take a dozen. 6, 7, 8. We're just kind of putting them together. I'm going to fix it where you don't even see the stems. That's how I'm going to do it. I'm just drawing me a little circle. And I'm putting a little head and a little tail. And that's all I'm going to do. I've done the redbird. Nothing else. I'm just picking. Well, I'm sitting here painting this and just talking away to y'all. And y'all didn't hear a word I said. Alright. I have a permanent red and a cad deep. I gotta read it. Cad red deep hull. And what I did is I just put in... I kept rotating the colors and just mixing them together. And I went in with my little, I made a little swirl for my rose. And I'm just going to use my white now, which just spurted all over me. Literally just got a hand splatter. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry I was painting away in that room. I didn't see y'all. Didn't see that it wasn't doing that. I'm going to pick up my white. And I'm just going to come in and dab some white into my rose. As you can see there. I've got something on my brush. It doesn't take much. And I'm trying, let me see if I can get you down a little bit more to see it. Okay, just a little bit of white. And I, like I said, dabbed into those those reds, the two different reds I just kind of put on here. And so, whoops, it's a little bit too much. And they're not making any rhyme or reason where I'm going with this, just as long as I get it on there. And if I think I got too much, I can just bring in a little more red over some of that. Either one of the reds will be fine. I just get my brush off. I got a little bit too much paint on there. And I'm just kind of going in a little circle motion when I do put this on, so that it can just go around the rose. Ring, you know that song, Ring Around the Roses, Pocket Full of Toes. Well, that's kind of what I'm doing. I'm just tapping, but I'm kind of going in a circle to do it. That one didn't want to act right. But it's giving me some pinks under here too. Every so often I'm having to wash my brush off to get just the white. But it's giving me some pinks and some whites, and then I've got my reds. So you're seeing my roses come to life with just all three colors. I'm going to pick up a little bit of the black, and I'm going to pick up a little bit of my red. Ouch, that hurt. Keep something on my finger. Okay, I picked up some of my permanent red and some black. I'm going to wipe my brush off because I got paint where I stirred it up. Alright, I'm going to pick up that color, and I'm going to come around the outside of my roses to make them look like they each individual. If you can see that, how that, just that little bit of red and black. It's just kind of making it look like its own little. We can bring in a little bit more there if we want to. I actually kind of like that inside the flower, so I might just tap a little bit of that. Just, yep, I'm just going to tap a little bit. I don't want to go crazy. Just, it's got more red to it, and it's making more life about it. But I still want to go around the outside of each rose. And as I'm tapping, it's just kind of bringing in its own little colors. Some of the roses are a little bit bigger than others, and some are a little lighter than others, and that's okay. So you see, I just done a little spiral, and that's my roses. We're just tapping around the outside, and then just a little bit of swirling, tapping inside. And the reason I said I done this, I know I put it on the video, but it didn't record. Randy would buy me roses, and he would buy me red roses, especially for Valentine's. He'd pay the awful amount of money for roses, but other times he bought me roses too, so, you know, you never know when I was going to get flowers, and it was always special to me, so why not have some flowers? Okay, just coming around. Like I said, you can't see the stems because the way I've got them laying on the bench, but that's okay. Alright, I like that. I'm going to let that dry. Now, we're going to come over here to where our little Redbird is. I don't know if you can see him, but there's my little bird. Ooh, I guess you could see him. Look what I did. Oh, well, I'm going to do that anyway, so I'm going to pick up some of my permanent red, and I'm going to just lay his little body out. It doesn't have to have a lot of detail. I got him a little bit too big of a tail. Let's make his body a little bit bigger. And then we're going to give him a little head. I need to stop Renee. It's going to keep growing. Alright, I'm going to grab some of this some of the deep whole red. And I'm just going to bring a little bit of this in, just to bring his tail down to a point if I can. I'm not getting his tail wanting to do right. I'm going to come back with his body a little bit bigger. I'm sorry. It's just that he's going to be a fat little Redbird. I'm going to wipe my brush off, and I'm going to pick up some of this, pick up some yellow ochre, and I'm just going to give him a tiny little beak. It's not something we really got to worry about. And then I'm going to pick up some of my darker red, and I'm just going to put in a little bit of that. Like I said, I don't have to do a lot. I'm going to pick up some of that red black that I made too, and I'm just going to put a little shadowing under here. I'm just going to let him have his little thing on his head a little bit. Alright, now I've got to come back to that, but that And both of these things have to dry. I'm back with my roses. They have dried. And I'm going to use some, just a little bit of grass green. And I'm going to take a little bit of my white and mix with some of the grass green to give me two different colors. Two colored greens. Alright, so wipe my brush off. And I'm just going to come in and put in a little bit of greenery in here. And I'm using just my, well, I'm using grass green and I'm using some of the other greens. So I'm picking both greens up at one time. And we're just putting some leaves in. And I have some white spots in there. I just come in and make sure I have some of my leaves. And I just do it periodically. That one didn't take too good. So we're just putting down some different leaves. I think that's pretty. So he's not here to buy me flowers anymore. Daniel has bought me flowers. Andrew's bought me flowers. Scott's bought me flowers. And Leah's bought me flowers. So I've been blessed with a family that loves me. But I can paint my flowers. Alrighty, let's get a little bit right in here. I think that's enough leaves on my roses. Washed and dried my brush, I think. Alright, I'm just going to pick up a little bit of black. Whoops, you heard it just slipped a little bit. I'm going to tap just in a little bit for his mask. And I'm going to just act like I put some legs there, some little dots under there for his legs. Doesn't have to be a lot of detail, thank goodness. I wipe my brush off and I'm going to pick up a little bit more of the permanent red. A little bit, Jan. And just, oops, I gotta wash that. I got too much black on it. Okay. And just bring some more of this in. And bring some of that. I'm going to pick up just a little bit of white with that and just put a little bit of some color in there. And then I'm just going to pick up a little white and I'm going to give it some little highlights. Okay. And we're just going to put a little dot for an eye. I see. Okay. So that is... Alright, I had it down and it slid up on me. I just put a little white in here. I dotted black. I put some black here. I dotted some white here. And I just put a little white around and then I put some highlights up here. So just to give him a little highlight. Not a whole lot to my little bird. I'm sorry. I hope you didn't miss it. But you did. So what I'm going to do with this is I have a little sea sponge and I've got some white. And I'm just going to tap it. Okay, and then I'm just going to put in a few around to look like some baby breaths in there. And that's all I'm going to do. And I have one more thing to do that has to be done on every painting. And I'm going to grab my little liner brush. And I'm going to grab some black and I'm going to make it really thin. Roll my brush and I'm going to come right under this tree. Think I'm happy with it. and paint my name. Can you see that? I'm making sure you didn't. And I'm going to put 25. Because if I ever paint it again, the grandkids has got to get a lot bigger. Well, y'all, if you come to this, you have watched the whole family being painted on my canvas. And so I'm going to hang it up and I will show you what it looks like in a little bit. There it is on my mantelpiece. I'm still waiting to get my lights put on there, but that's okay. You can see it. That, I need to paint the board I got underneath it, that little piece of wood that holds it up, but I'm happy with it. Yeah. The family, y'all. That's what life is about. The love that God gives us for our family and for one another. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care. And I pray that God takes care of y'all's family.